Alrighty, so I don't think it's any secret that Albedo is really good in some of these early demonic beasts. She's not very good in Nidhogg, from my understanding, because Nidhogg actually has like a damage reduction to counters, so it doesn't really work out. Like, it's not actually worth using her in that scenario because that's basically all you're going to be using her for. But I've heard that the deer is incredibly nice with Albedo. So normally the one thing that I kind of run into an issue with is on floor 3, you'll run into the scenario where if you get him too low, you end up popping res, and you kind of don't want to do that because if he ends up, waiting too many turns, he'll put up a stance that's pretty much unbeatable, and then you'll just end up having to stall forever. So from what I was told, I was specifically requested to use this. I'm not the biggest fan of Milim. I know that Milim does a really good job on here, though, so I figured I'd just go ahead and do it. I haven't used her in a while, so it could be a little bit of fun, but I was told that if I finish the last phase, like if I get into floor 3, phase 4, and I make sure that the counter stance is used and the next card that needs to be used is a blue card, then the counter will one-shot the last phase, which I think sounds incredibly fun. So we're gonna try to do that because it sounds really cool, and I think that's the last phase that really gives me the most trouble anyway. So it could be a really nice way to sort of bypass that sort of annoyance and have just a new go-to team. Because honestly, the deer's not very hard anymore. I think that the deer is probably one of the easiest ones. But realistically, that's the only part of the run that gives me any sort of trouble. Ooh, the fact that we get the damage dealt increase here, too, is actually kind of insane. Let's go blue into red, into green, and then, honestly, I think that's going to kill. So we could potentially throw out another blue card, but we have 2 blue units. Maybe we just move an Albedo card here, because this isn't going to do that crazy, but it'll start the color wheel, and then the red card should end up doing a lot here. So with 40% damage increase, okay, not as much as I was maybe expecting. Okay, well, I mean, we rank up our cards, not that big of a deal. Could have used the Milim card, but, I mean, it's fine. Maybe I need to just get into the swing of things. This is the first time I'm using the team, so I figured we would just do it live. Sometimes it's easier to just run through these, record it, and then just sort of like, talk over the recording and everything. But I kind of like doing them live just so that way I can sort of encounter any issues or like problems that I might have with it while I'm going through it, and then I can sort of, voice my concerns as it goes on. So 1.8 million, that's pretty typical. Milim honestly does hit really, really hard. That spike card goes crazy. So that's pretty cool. We're now on phase 3. Let's just throw up a counter, because why not? And then we can go blue, or well, we don't even have to worry about counter wheel here. So let's just go for maybe getting rid of some of these extra cards out of the hand. So, I mean, I'm really bad to save cards and just like keep level 3 cards in my hand, which is not really what you want to do, considering that it's so easy with Jormungand Relic to rank up these cards, but I don't know, it'll be alright. So here we go. We do have the counter up. I'm interested to see kind of how much the counter does here. What are we looking like? Because we can ult next turn. Okay, boom, boom. Ooh, 337, and that's on a level 1 counter as well, so that's kind of funny. I really want to... I wonder if we can do this, and then just move cards. Because this is going to give me damage dealt increase, and then it's a blue card, so he'll attack into a level 3 stance. Alright, 989, that's pretty solid. Okay, I'm alright with that. I mean, obviously, there's only a couple of things in this game that can bypass a damage cap. Abyss ultimates do it, and counters do it, so counter works really well here. Alrighty, so we're on floor 2 now. I gotta be wary of phase 3 because of the stance cancel. Realistically, I'm not worried about the stance too much in these early floors. I'm mainly wanting to see it in the last floor, but I mean, I guess if I get extra ones, I really shouldn't be like too shy with it, because realistically it's just going to help me blow through the phase faster. Because if I don't kill turn 1 and they attack into the counter, then I win basically turn 2 if it does enough. So probably not a bad idea to go ahead and use it. So here's phase 2. There's a color wheel that I have to go through beforehand, so let's make sure that we end on a blue card. So let's go blue, red, green, and then he should... well, actually, I don't know for sure if we're going to end up seeing a kill here. So there's blue, red, green. The green is going to take off the damage reduction stack and everything, and we should be able to do full damage. Typically, if you can't beat the color... or if you can't do... like, if you can't kill the character or the deer in one turn... Okay, not a full kill there. Oh, is this going to break the color wheel, actually? I think it does, right? Yeah, so she gets frozen. Luckily, that bug has been fixed at this point. He breaks the freeze on her, though, which is fine. Okay. Not that crazy of a counter just yet. We don't have another counter either, so let's go red into green. That should heal us up a little bit, and then we can finish off with this blue card, maybe. And then I think I'm just going to throw away this Frayer card. So that should be more than enough to kill. This alone should deal a pretty good amount of damage. Obviously, he does have damage cap, but this, and then the Millum card should be fine. So, boom, actually kills with that. Okay, I'm never too sure if Jormungand is going to kill or not. By the way, the guy who requested this is in my Discord. He showed his gear. He was using an attack crit resistance set, whereas I'm using HP defense. So that could maybe be a factor on like how hard my counters are actually going to hit. But for the most part, I don't think it'll be too big of an issue. So let's maybe go for some ultimates here. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this out of hand, and we'll just rank up the rest of my cards. Should be okay. So heal up a little bit. Not that I don't think we really need it. Okay, level 2 stance. Cancel from the Frayer here into a level 3. Unfortunately, damage cap makes this look a lot less impressive, but I'm pretty sure that would like straight up destroy the health bar, to be honest with you. So, alright, we have... This is an infect, I'm pretty sure, on phase 2. Okay, or floor 2, not phase 2. I'm almost used to Nidhogg only having 3 phases now, which Dogs also only has 3 phases, so I get kind of thrown off sometimes running these older ones. Let's go ahead and just kill, maybe? We can go for something like this, and then we can just use our ultimate in the last phase, if we don't end up getting the really bad passive. There is a passive that you get once you go into the final phase of floor 2, where... every time you like go into a new phase, you lose an ultimate move gauge orb, or it might be 2, I can't remember, but that one's like the biggest one that would slow you down. Luckily, I'm not relying on ultimates to beat the last phase really fast, so maybe the counter will actually help me in that regard. So we don't have to go through a color wheel on this one. We did not get the bad passive, which is great. So let's go for blue, red, green. More than likely, that's just going to go ahead and kill in general, because the 6/6 death damage is going to do absolutely tons of damage here. And then we finish off with a heal card, which, because we kill him, it should do like a lot of healing, which doesn't really matter. We're not really taking that much damage. The deer is kind of a joke nowadays. Obviously, like, if you're still newer to the game and you don't have like insanely strong characters, it could be an issue, but a lot of the characters nowadays are super power crept for this kind of thing. Alright, so here we are on floor 3. I think I'm just going to do the typical turn 1 stuff. I don't think I'll have too many issues with that. Might not kill turn 1 here. Could have maybe been okay to throw up a counter, but I think for the most part, I'm okay with saving it at least, because, you know, sometimes RNG can be really bad. We do have 4 different phases to get through, so I don't necessarily think we're going to have, like, a scenario where I don't get a counter through the entire thing, but you never know. So I'm just going to play it safe. I'm not going to use the counter if I don't have to for now. I don't even remember. I think it's corrosion stacks that get put on you if you break the color wheel in floor 3, which isn't like the biggest deal in the world, but might be nice to avoid that. We do get attack sealed on the Albedo, which is good for me because she has a debuff card anyway. So let's just go ahead and maybe kill here. Let's go ahead and use the heal card into maybe this. And then I'm pretty positive that that's going to kill. Let's just move cards for Albedo, actually. So, boom. A little bit of damage. Goes ahead and kills. It's fine. We get rid of that level 2 card from Millum, but that's the weaker card anyway, so I'm okay with that. Plus, we have 2 blue units, so wasting a blue card is not Not a big issue. We pull another Milim card, which is funny. I kind of want a stance, but like I said, I really don't want to risk it and then not get a stance later. But I think getting a level 3 stance is kind of how you're expected to kill turn 1. Or, like, with the first attack on the last phase. So let's go for blue, red, green into another Milim card for blue, because that'll rank it up to level 3. Not that it's really going to matter too much what level it is. Like, I mean, level 1 didn't do the craziest there, but we also didn't have the color wheel started yet, so... as long as this does... Okay, it's not going to do enough for us to kill, unfortunately, but should be fine. We do rank up some cards there. Nice little damage from Milim. Honestly, it's kind of nice using Milim again. I don't ever really use her much anymore. I kind of regret not making UR gear for her and Benimaru. I have her with Kokaitis' gear at the moment, which it's crazy to me that I skipped Milim and Benimaru, but chose to give UR gear to like Kizuna and Kokaitis, for example, which honestly, Kizuna 100% deserves it in my opinion. Kizuna, fantastic unit, 100% in love with that character. Just so good, so helpful. I'm just gonna, that first card is gonna kill, so I'm just gonna throw away a bunch of these extra cards here. Maybe shouldn't have thrown away so many Freyr cards actually, but we still have one more phase before we get to the final section, so I should be okay. Surprisingly, I have not gotten an extra stance yet, and I still don't have one, so I'm really glad that I've been holding on to that. Let's go for... We need to save the, whatchamacallit? We need to save the Freyr cards if possible, because I need, at least, I can't talk, I at least need to make sure that I have one of each color before we go into the next phase. This phase is normally pretty tanky. It seems like we're actually doing really good damage right here, so that's nice. We get Albedo's ultimate. We finally get an extra stance, which kind of too little too late on that one. I might throw it just so that way I can get rid of this ultimate out of hand, because more than likely he's going to use the AoE ult drain anyway, so probably isn't going to be like nice to save it. So let's go ahead and throw that away. We have... I kind of want to save the rest of these cards, to be honest. I think maybe we get rid of this one, and then we can just move the Freyr card in case he doesn't ult drain, but realistically, I think he'll end up ult draining. He normally ult drains basically every single turn. You have to get really lucky RNG for him not to. So, yeah. And I think, honestly, the more that I play with this team and everything, the more I should be able to hopefully get the hang of it. And, like, I could probably speed run this boss, to be honest. So let's go blue, red, green. And then it'll end back on blue. And then we're pretty much good to go. So blue, red, green. I have the level 3 stance up. I think there may be a difference in the attack crit resistance that he's using and the HP defense that I'm using, because 20% attack is quite a lot, but let me see if it's big enough, because we do have really good buffs on at the moment too. There's the ult drain. 3 million damage. Oh my god. That is literally so nice. That's like the only phase that gives me any trouble anymore, and the fact that you can literally just bypass it by doing that is fantastic. So yeah, honestly, I mean, if you have Albedo, obviously you don't have to use Milim or anything. You should just use another blue unit. And then you don't necessarily have to have the rest of them either. But Holy Relic on Freyr is going to boost your stats a bit, which is nice. So that can be pretty helpful. Jormungand is obviously the deer unit, so you're probably going to want to use her. But you could probably swap these two out and still be okay. But you just need to make sure that you're still able to do the color wheel and everything. And then, yeah, I guess just making sure that you get that counter for the last phase. Worked out beautifully. I really can't complain. I don't really think that it's worth like messing around with her on the bird or the dogs. Maybe the dogs could be interesting, but the bird is already so easy to me in general that, I mean, I don't know. Maybe we can mess with her, but I'm not convinced. If you want me to mess with her on the bird or the dogs, feel free to let me know. I'll try to see like what teams other people are using with them. But that's pretty much it for me for today, at least. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you use this team, let me know how it goes. Honestly, really fun. I'm glad that she still one-shots with HP defense, of course. So that should pretty much eliminate any sort of like variation that needs. Like you don't have to go for like a specific gear set or anything. So that's really, really cool. But either way, subscribe. I will see you later.